How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was in market conditions while you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. What did one math book say to the other? I have a ton of problems. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN giving us another green day. I was in the Weeble comments and I was like, you know what? We are far from finished. Again, we have the FOMO, the anticipation coming into the stock. And I know many of you are like, hey, Dre, we need that update. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to take a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance, what it looks like in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. I want to make sure you guys are fully prepared. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. We already know already in regards to the short interest, it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and the selling behavior like on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be jumping into the final thoughts and as well as some more details I feel that you need to know. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $13.98, being up 18.07%. On the low, it tested $12.33, and then on the high, testing $14.50. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 107.119 million shares, and then for the average volume over 10 trading days being at 57.833 million shares. So when we have this above average volume coming through OCGN, you guys already know what could happen to the stock price. This is part of the reasons why we had a great day. When we take a look at the RSI down below, it is right around 79.89. So this tells us right away we are in the overbought territory, and we're also using the 1 year daily chart. When we take a look at the moving averages here, we have strength above the 100 day, the 200 day, the 50 day, and as well as the 21 day EMA, definitely on a strong bullish pattern here. So you can see on the high where we tested at 1450. Keep an eye on this level going into tomorrow, because I feel like if we can pass it, we could easily make a strong move to where we can get to around 1567, which would be the next area of resistance. And then of course you'd want to look forward to seeing that move going to $16 plus. Now you guys see there is a gap here, and we know gaps are meant to be filled. So don't be surprised if we end up having a pullback, but I want to see us hold up this area right around $12. If we could hold that area up and then have a bounce off, then of course that would be the ideal situation so we can close this gap up. But even so, if we continue on this uptrend and be able to pass where we were on the 52-week high at $18.77, that would be a great look, because of course it'd have to cool off. And now, as far as for what I want to see going into tomorrow, is everything that I just stated. I can't really say much more. I'm excited to see what OCGN has been doing, and we do have the Fed meeting that's going to be happening, so let's see if it can continue in this trajectory as the days go on. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for OCGN. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we can see here for November the 1st, we have SG America Securities LLC that purchased just over 70,000 shares for a new position. And then now when we take a look at the short interest, we can see for the dark pool short volume ratio being at 57.68%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 17 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 100,000, updated 14 minutes ago. And then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 1.96%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 28th, it was at 56.20, and then the close for Friday that just passed, it was at 57.68. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the numbers are going to be later on in the evening, due to the fact we did end up having a nice green green day. So you can let me know inside of the comment sections if you come across it and have everyone inside of the know. But one thing to remember, OCGN does continue to have short squeeze potential. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we could see here on the inflow, it was 300, and then on the outflow, it was 300 as well. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large, it was 1.32. On the medium, it was 217. And then on the small, it was 81.87. And keep in mind, this is in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 0. On the medium, it was 223. And then on the small, it was 76.74. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for November the 1st, which was today, having that inflow of 1,320.76. So of course, going further into this breakdown, we can see there was a lot more buying on the retail side than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium though, we had more selling that was happening. But then when we take a look at the large scale orders, which is more likely to be institutions, we ended up having an inflow of 1.32 million. So again, institutions getting their position in. Now when we take a look at the turnover ratio, we could see it was at 54.09%. And of course, I am not surprised by that because there were many traders that were inside of this play taking advantage of the price action. And this is one thing that I want you to understand if you're inside of this play, because I'm looking forward to seeing what that decision is going to be, and the anticipation is only going to build up further. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, actually before I get started, let me go over this quick update that I came across. Bharat Biotech submits additional data on covaxin to WHO ahead of the crucial November 3rd meet on the emergency use listing. WHO had sought immunogenicity data for those above 60 years and gender-wise split data on immunogenicity and efficacy of covaxin. So it is great that Bharat Biotech is making sure, hey, here are everything that you need. Now give us this EUL. All of the OCGN shareholders out there, we have been waiting for it. We have been talking about it for quite some time on this channel. So this is part of the reasons why, as we get closer to that date, I know tomorrow is going to be the second, I feel there's going to be a lot more FOMO, but I also wouldn't be shocked if we have more volatility in regards to people taking profits as well. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, this play does continue to have short squeeze potential. And if you get those updated numbers, then of course you can let us know inside of the comment section. But I know for a fact shorts are not easing off the pedal as of yet. They're going to go all the way through with this. And this is part of the reasons why when I was doing the technical analysis, we could see some very strong moves in price action, especially to the upside, and even getting close to where we've been able to hit the all-time highs. I'm not saying that's going to be a guarantee to happen, but it's very likely if the anticipation continues to build up and if we end up getting that news. Now, another thing that I want to go over as well, many are asking that question, and I talked about it in the previous video. Should I be buying OCGN at $13 a share and so forth? Again, do your homework, do your due diligence, and then decide for yourself if this is the right decision. In my personal opinion, like I said before, I would not be buying at these particular levels whatsoever. I'm already up 100% on this play, so I don't really see the point of even adding to my position even further. I'm just going to sit back and see how this thing goes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.